my channel. My name is Naomi Rook. If you're brand new to my channel, consider subscribing. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Also, make sure to ring the notification bell so you can be notified anytime I do upload a video. Today, what I wanted to do is a little get ready with me using some new products, testing them out. Some of these products I have used a little bit. There were a few products that were brand new to me today. So the products that I did test out, I used the Ace Beauty Eyeshadow Amplifying Base. I used the Ofra, this is the Pro palette, and this is the Boho. Here is the inside of that palette, super pretty. I used the Menagerie Cosmetics Aurtherine Blush Palette. I used the new NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. I've seen this all over TikTok. I used the Lys, this is the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I was really excited to try this out. I used the Rodial, this is the Blush Drops Liquid Blush, and this is in Sunset Kiss. I used the Aestetica Bronzer, the Sunset Bronze. This is a really nice matte bronzer, really kind of cool, unique undertone. Those are all the products I will be testing out in this video. So if you'd like to see how those apply to the skin and how I achieved this look, then just keep watching. My eyebrows are done, my eyelids are primed. I'm going to go ahead and hop into my eyes. So this is the Ofra Pro palette, and this is in Boho. So this is so beautiful. It's like a complete face palette. Let me get this cover off of it. So there are all the colors. This is so beautiful. It has two highlighters, it has a bronzer, some eyebrow products, a banana powder, some blushes, some eyeshadow. All these powders can also be used for just anything on the face. There is a little mirror. This is such a fantastic palette. I did end up getting this from my BoxyCharm pop-up store, which I love buying stuff from there because it's cheap for me and I can try new things. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into this palette. I don't do a ton of warm looks, but because this palette is predominantly warm, I'm going to go ahead and do this palette all over my eyes. So I'm going to take a blending brush and I'm going to go into this color down here, really warm orange color, and I'm going to put that on the top of my crease area. So I've used the Ofra highlighter formula, but other than that I haven't used any of their other formulas. Their highlighter formula is beautiful, so I figured that their powders were probably going to be really nice, and because I did get this for such a really great and expensive price, I wanted to just try it out because if it is really good powders, it'll work great for my kit. Using a smaller blending brush, I'm going to go into this darker brown color. I'm going to tap that onto the outer V area and kind of round it out a little bit. That is a very pretty brown color. Next, I'm going to go into this even darker color that I think is more of a brow color, but I'm just going to use that as an eyeshadow. Pile that onto the outer V and darken that up just a little bit more. I did already do my eyebrows, but I should have saved this palette to do my brows. I forgot that there were brow products in here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and cut out my crease. I'm going to be using the Ace Beauty. This is the Eyeshadow Amplifying Base. I got this in a BoxyCharm, so I've been using this a lot. I do like it. I like the texture of it a lot. It does prevent my eyeshadows from creasing, so that's nice. I love the color of it. It's very, very brightening, so it works really good. It's almost lighter than concealers. It has a lot of pigment. I really like eyeshadow bases that have a lot of pigment that can really like blank out my crease. I'm going to go into this color right here. I'm going to take that, place it all over the lid, right on top of that eyeshadow primer. Next, I'm going to take the highlighter in the palette. I'm going to tap that on top because it's not quite as bright as I wanted it to be. The next one I'm going to do is I'm going to use a flat brush. I'm going to go into that very dark color, and I'm going to run that along my lash line and out. I've been really liking that smoked liner look. A little bit of that dark brown from the eyeshadow. Hop into primer. I'm going to use the Too Faced Plump and Prime. I did use this in my last Get Ready With Me. I've been using this a lot. I really like it. I like the texture of it. I like how it moisturizes my skin. It really does make my skin feel almost more plump and just luscious. I really love this primer, which is kind of shocking. I've never heard anyone talk about it. I just saw a makeup artist using it, so I did want to try it, and Too Faced was having a sale. So while that's sitting on my face, I'm going to hop off, curl my lashes, do my mascara, and then I will be back in just a minute. One thing I'm noticing about those eyeshadows is I don't have any fallout at all on my face. And I know I used a lot of mattes and just a little bit of shimmer, but it did really like adhere to that primer. So the primer is set in. Next we're going with foundation. I did end up purchasing the Lys. This is the Triple Fix Serum Foundation. I have wanted to try this for some time. I've heard incredible reviews. So I did buy this in MN3. It's a little dark, but it'll be great for the summer. So I'm just going to pump some out onto my hand. It's quite a thin formula that makes sense when it's called a serum foundation. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of white of my pigments And then I'm going to throw in a tiny bit of blue to neutralize it. And we're going to match this to my skin tone a little bit better. One thing about that primer, you definitely want to let it sit on your skin for quite some time. If you put foundation over top of it before it has set into your skin, it will ball up just a little bit, but the result after you've let it sit is so beautiful. And I normally let my primers sit on my skin anyway, so it's nothing new. You just have to remember, you definitely have to just let it sit. I have been using this foundation ever since I got it. And it is a really beautiful formula. It is a light to medium foundation, definitely buildable, has a gorgeous, gorgeous finish on the skin. It's very skin-like, has some beautiful luminosity, but it's not like oily or super luminous. And it blends into the skin really nice. It's not the most long-wearing foundation in the world. Probably has about a 6 to 8 hour lifespan, which I think is perfect. Most days I am wearing makeup just about 6 to 8 hours. Rarely do I wear my makeup just all day long. It's a very comfortable foundation. It looks good on the skin. I'm really excited about this. It is a little bit more inexpensive at Sephora, so I like that also. It's not super expensive. I can't remember how much it is. I did get it during the Sephora sale, so I did get some money off of it. There is a close-up of the skin. Beautiful luminosity. I tried it with quite a few different primers. It looks really beautiful with every one I've tried. So it's not super picky. The last foundation I tried out was definitely a little bit more pickier. I'm not a huge fan of really picky foundations. I like something that's going to work with pretty much any primer. Next, I'm going to go in with the NYX Bare With Me. This is the concealer serum. It has hyaluronic acid. This is a new kind of trending product. It does come with a little pump, which I'm not a fan of. I would much rather it be a doe foot applicator. I'm going to take my sponge and just tap that onto my under eyes. I have used this a few times. I'm not really sure what my thoughts are on it yet. I know for sure I do not like the pump. I really do wish it had a doe foot applicator. But I'm going to apply that just like that and really let it sit. I normally let my concealers sit under my eyes before I blend them out. I find I get the maximum coverage that way. You can definitely tell it has a very luminous finish. I think this will be a good winter concealer as long as it wears well. And I've only worn it a couple times, so I don't really know my thoughts. I'm excited to be testing it out again today to really see how I like it. It does have a beautiful finish. I really like how it looks on the skin. I normally like NYX's face products. I loved their Born to Glow foundation. I use that all the time. I did like their Born to Glow concealer, but I definitely think I like this concealer more than that one. It's really pretty. It has really good coverage, and it does look really nice under the eyes. So I do have a cream blush to try. This is the Rodial. This is the Blush Drops Liquid Blush in Sunset Kiss. I got this also from my BoxyCharm pop-up. So this is a really pretty, it's quite metallic, so I'm not sure how it's going to look. It's a really pretty kind of warm bronzy color. I'm really excited to try it out. So I'm going to put that on the back of my hand and I'm going to blend it out. There's a bit of a bitter swatch, super pretty. Probably got way too much on my hand. I am going to put this on my cheeks using my sponge. I'm going to tap the sponge into the blush. I'm going to tap it onto the back of my hand and then just kind of tap it on that way. I have not tried this. I just opened the box yesterday, so I am excited to test it out. It has a lot of glow. It doesn't seem to be blending super well. It really doesn't have a ton of pigment, just a lot of luminosity. Not really blending out super well. Seems to be kind of just sticking where I put my sponge down at first. Grab my duo brush. I'm going to tap that in there and see if maybe that would help. It really just looks like glow on my cheeks with a rosy undertone, and it really seems to be taking away the foundation underneath. Alright, so I am not sure I'm going to love that blush. It gives me a ton of glow, but no color really. It seemed to disturb the foundation underneath. It doesn't look flattering on the skin. You can kind of see right there a ton of metallic, but not a ton of pigment. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and like powder up my face. So I'm gonna go in with my Kosas. This is Cloud Set. I'm just gonna apply that on my under eyes, and hopefully that can help with the metallic glow. Now I'm taking the lightest color from my Jaclyn palette. I am tapping that under my eyes with a sponge alongside my nose. I've been loving doing this recently to really give me that airbrush, just flawless look. I love this palette, honestly. Like, if I would suggest anything, this is an incredible palette. Then you can see the difference. This looks so brightened and lifted, and then this side definitely looks a lot darker. Next, I'm going to go into the Aestetica. This is the Sunset Bronzer. This has a really unique kind of yellow undertone. It's not the perfect undertone for me right now, but I do want to test out the formula. So I zoomed you out a little bit so you can see my whole face. So I am just bronzing up my cheeks, down my jawline. That bronzer is really pretty. It has definitely given me like a summertime glow. It is kind of clinging strangely to that blush. I don't think I'm going to like that blush at all. So because that blush did not have a ton of pigment, I am going to go in with the Aurtherine blush palette. This is from Menagerie Cosmetics. I did end up picking this up. They were having a sale. So here are all the colors. I will have a review of this palette coming up shortly. Aren't those just so beautiful? There are a lot of really cool tone, very unique blush colors. I'm really excited to own this palette. I've used it a lot. It is super pigmented, so you do have to be very careful, but it is absolutely gorgeous. So I'm going to hop in with a little bit of Dog Rose, and when I say a little bit, I mean like, let me show you, like tap in and then like really tap off. It is so pigmented. Just apply that to the top of my cheekbones. So beautiful. I really do love the colors in this palette. They're just very unique, something I don't have, and it's so pretty. Even though these blushes are very pigmented, they're really blendable. See, that side I got too much and I like knocked my brush off. Because this Ofra palette is kind of new, I'm going to go ahead and hop into that bronzer down at the bottom and just add a little bit to my cheeks, just because I don't really know how it performs. It looks a little bit warm for me right now, but I think it'll be really good during the summer. I'm going to do a little bit of lower lash line. I'm going to hop into that dark brown in the palette and take that underneath and just smoke that out underneath my lower lash line. And I'm going to take that orange color, the one I used up in my crease at first, and really blow that out. Okay, next we are going to go into highlighter. So there are two highlighters in this palette. We have Rodial Drive, which I do own this already. It is a beautiful highlighter. And the next right here is Blissful. It's a light pink. I'm going to mix the two together because I do have Rodial Drive already, but I really want to kind of lighten it up because it's a bit more of a summer color for me. And I'm just going to apply that to the top of my cheeks. Ofra highlighters are absolutely incredible. They're probably one of my favorite formulas. They're super blinding, and I really love how they look on the skin. Also use those two colors combined as my inner corner. I'm going to use a tiny bit to highlight the brow bone. And for lips, I'm going to jump into my Morphe Bite Me lip liner. And for lips, I have a couple options. So I do have this Buxom. This is a Mini Lust Gloss in Flesh 6. So I have that one, and then I also have the Fenty Cream. This is in Fenty Glow. We're going to go in with the Fenty Cream. Try that one on first. This is in Fenty Glow. I love the Fenty Glow lip gloss. I got this in a set. So I'm going to go ahead and apply that because I have not tried the creams yet. Definitely feels nice. Alright, so there is the finished makeup. Let's go ahead and go over the products that I tried out. I do like how this turned out. I don't really like warm tones a whole lot, but I do love how this turned out. Face primer, I do really like this. I've been using this quite a lot. The Lys Foundation I think is beautiful. It looks really great on my skin. It looks very skin-like and healthy, but has a good amount of coverage, which are kind of my favorite foundations, are ones that look like skin but have a medium-ish type coverage. The Aestetica Bronzer, I do like this. I will like it a lot more during the summer because it does have kind of a different undertone that I think would look better on more tan skin, not as pale as I am. The Aurtherine blush palette is so beautiful. I love the colors. They're super unique. The pigmentation is incredible. They would last a long time. They last all day long on the cheeks, so I do like that a lot. The Ace Beauty Eye Base, I do think I'm going to like it. It has a lot of pigmentation, is really light, and it definitely prevents my shadows from creasing and gives them a ton of pigment. the Ofra Pro palette. So far, I've loved all the powder products I've used. The highlighters, like I said, are just gorgeous. I'm excited to try these in eyebrows. I want to get into those blushes because they look really beautiful, neutral blushes. And the eyeshadows are pretty. They're not the best in the whole world, but they are really good, really blendable formula that I like. The metallics are a little bit more lackluster, but that's easy to fix if you use a primer or glitter glue or them wet. So far, when I've used the NYX concealer, I do really like it. It's very lightweight, but it has a good amount of coverage. Put it down with some powder and I think it's really beautiful, so I'm excited to continue using that. The biggest dud of today's video is the Rodial blush. I did not like this. It was a lot of metallic, not as much glow and sheen. It was really metallic, left barely any pigment, and it did pick up everything underneath, and I did not powder before I put that on, so I'm not a huge fan of that. I might try it again as like a blush topper, but I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. So if you did like this video, please give it a thumbs up, and I will catch you on the next one. Bye guys!